Welcome back to Retail Therapy. My name's Will. As always, got Barrett with me. Barrett, how are you today?
I'm well. Thank you. How about this August that we're getting? Not just lead off with like a bunch of boring weather small talk, but this is a fashion podcast, and as our guest today knows, it's all about layering. And it was 79 degrees yesterday.
Yeah,
which is absolutely unheard of in Austin, Texas in August. I don't know what is happening.
I feel like you today. I just have tabs open.
But it's really like
I got carts going right now with fall stuff that I won't be able to wear for a while.
I'm worried that it's just tricking me, and we're gonna get second summer in late September. It's gonna be like 105.
You're getting ahead of yourself in August.
But like this, it's been such a crazy mild August that I am like,
stop.
I'm standing in my second closet, just like looking at all my lightweight jackets already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I have numerous lightweight jackets in carts as we speak right now.
So I don't know. I'm feeling good.
I hate to tell you, Barrett, that this weekend is going to be not in the 90s. I mean, Sunday I think is a high of 89, so we are getting a little cold spell.
Dude, I'm putting on I'm putting on long sleeves. I'm doing it.
I'm wearing a chore coat to dinner on Saturday.
So that's what I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to introduce our guest?
I would love to introduce our guest. He's back for his second appearance on the podcast.
Yes.
Joining a very special club. I was not able to join for the first one, so I'm very excited to be here. But we're very pleased to welcome every other Thursday's Ethan Glenn back to the podcast. What's up, Ethan?
Hello. Thank you. I'm excited to be back. It's been quite some time, but
it's been almost 2 years. I went back and re-listened to the pod.
What were you doing?
Well, you kept referencing that I had like a ton of work going on at Howler because it was like November, like around holiday.
Okay.
But I don't remember why I had to. I don't know.
Well, whenever I book guests at Barrett's
that was it.
I usually do it to like explore my like interests in life. Like I'll get like a Grateful Dead guest or something, or like
right.
And that was one where Barrett was like clearly bummed that he wasn't a part of the interview.
And that podcast, that version of it was a great listen. We'll link it in the description of this one if you want to go back and kind of get the origin story. If you are unfamiliar with Ethan, do you mind if I read you a little something?
Go ahead.
Okay. Ethan Glenn.
I'm afraid.
Ethan Glenn is an acclaimed fashion and lifestyle influencer who seamlessly blends vintage nostalgia with contemporary streetwear, often pairing tailored classics like trousers and button-downs with more relaxed pieces such as oversized hoodies or Patagonia fleeces, expertly layering textures and accessories to elevate his looks. With over 500,000 followers across TikTok and Instagram, he's become a trusted style authority and the creative force behind Every Other Thursday, a fashion label that mirrors his timeless yet modern sensibility through elevated, vintage-inspired wardrobe staples. Thank you, ChatGPT.
What, ChatGPT? Barrett?
That's
not what I wanted to hear.
I stole a bit from another podcast here on Wash Media. That's how Dave uses Grok to introduce his guests. Now Grok goes crazy. Grok makes tons of mistakes and says silly shit, and it's a great bit for Dave. But I just wanted a cohesive, well written, just breakdown to for anybody that's unfamiliar with Ethan. And here I got something else for you. Before we get started. No. I asked Chat to give a little bit more detail, and you're gonna like where this goes, though. You're gonna like where this goes. Okay, you ready for this? I'm covering all of our bases. Born in Toronto, Canada, Ethan Glenn is a self-taught photographer, videographer, and creator, best known for his "Let's Get Dressed To" TikTok videos that exude a casual yet curated charm, earning him hundreds of thousands of followers. His personal style merges tailored classics, all elevated by his meticulous attention to fit, layering, and subtle accessories. As founder and creative director of his e-commerce label Every Other Thursday, Glenn extends this aesthetic into physical form, offering apparel and accessories that reflect his minimalist vintage sensibility. After launching his brand and content journey from Toronto, he has since relocated to Los Angeles, where he continues to evolve his work, drawing inspiration from both cities and often sharing his love of vinyl collecting, Sunday routines, and thoughtful shopping habits in conversations on the Retail Therapy podcast.
There we go.
Chat knows about Ethan being on the Retail Therapy. And now for his second visit, I feel like we are officially the home podcast for
Ethan. I'm honestly afraid how accurate that was. That was crazy.
Yeah, sometimes ChatGPT will tell me things that I never wanted to admit. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
You know too much.
It knows all. It really does it. I feel like it listened to the podcast.
It possibly did.
It's
It
sentient,
probably
man.
did. The one thing it got wrong was that I've since moved to New York. It's the only thing it's omitted. From
Are you
that
in New York
whole-
now?
I'm back in Toronto for the last week, seeing some family and stuff. But I like to come in the summer. It's nice. It's not a winter tundra, and then I'll be back in New York.
Are you going to stick around for the Oasis shows in Toronto?
I'm here over the weekend for it, but I am not fortunate enough to have tickets. But I did happen to pass by the merch booth that they've set up, in what appears to be like a Spirit Halloween-esque takeover of a random building. And there are lines around the block day and night.
I heard every
to get
piece
merch.
of Adidas gear sold out at that by like early afternoon.
And yet, 3 days later, they're still around the block. So.
Well, that's actually a great segue, Ethan, because when I was thinking about having you on and what we wanted to talk about and what we'd ask you today, it dawned on me that I have always thought of you as a New York-based creator. And then I kind of re-listened to the podcast and remembered that you had moved to LA and typically had been spending time in Toronto. We're going to get to the pop-up that you did this summer in New York, but yeah, we kind of experience some of the same thing here on Retail Therapy. We talk about New York so much as like this central hub of where everything happens that I think people sometimes think that we're a New York-based podcast, even though we're here in Central Texas. But that's kind of how I thought about you too. It just like made sense for you to be in New York, and and your style is very kind of like East Coast trad and prep centric. So it sounds like you're no longer in LA. You are officially in New York.
Yeah, my fiance and I moved to New York in March of this year. So that's about 6 months in. It's been great. I mean, it's summer, so what's not to like? We've been in LA for 3 years, so I haven't really experienced a true winter in a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm a little afraid for that. But just more reason to wear coats and jackets. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how has that been? You a couple of years ago, you mentioned that New York was like maybe too hectic of a place for you to actually, live, but now you're there. Is it just did it make sense to be there for the brand?
Yeah, I think it was a combination of a lot of things. It was something I'd always wanted to do. My fiance as well. The fires happened in LA, which kind of pushed a lot of people around and made them reconsider what they might want. So we thought it was a good time, and it made great sense for the brand. Like you said, we did the month-long store this summer in Soho, which if I had to like stay at a hotel for 6 weeks to be able to do that would have been very expensive, but also just not the same. And we ended up moving to Brooklyn, so it's a lot quieter than living in Manhattan itself, which helps with that whole crazy aspect of living in New York.
How'd the store go? Was it a fun retail experience? As someone who's worked in retail a lot in life, I know it can go both ways. There are certain things about it that I absolutely love, and other things that I'm like, I hope I never have to do inventory ever again.
Yeah, it was weird because I've never worked in retail. I was always working in kitchens growing up. I'd never worked anything front of house side of things. And so that was a bit of a hill for me to get over and just understand how that world works. And because of that, I wanted to be there every single day for the 30 days we were open, which was exhausting, but I learned a lot and really understood the customer and everything like that. But the store itself was incredible. It was way more successful than we even imagined. Being in New York, there is that foot traffic element. So every day there's half the people coming in that just have no idea who we are. And that's really cool. And they just come in, they like the stuff, they shop, they hang out, they ask questions. And it's like I've perfected the elevator pitch of the brand just based on how many people kept coming through that had no idea who we are, which I thought was interesting. And yeah, it was great.
Well, what's the elevator pitch? What do you tell the people that are not familiar?
Everyone wants to know what the name means, and I got to a point where I gave up trying to explain it. So now I just say it just sounds good, and so I went with it.
Yes,
I just feel like we've come to a point where it really doesn't matter. It was just like a funny joke as when it was a mood board years ago, and now it's just evolved. So, but the elevator pitch in itself is just we make good clothes that fit well and are interesting, and are maybe a little bit more unique than the Buck Mason off the rack or Made Well or whatever it might be that is in a similar category.
Yeah. And so you were a creator. You were big on TikTok, and you had a following on Instagram, and you kind of like, I was listening to you talk about how you basically, people were asking where all your clothes were from. They were mostly vintage. You wanted to be able to monetize that. And I feel like, that was 2 years ago. You had started a couple years before that. Now in 2025, I feel like this creator-led brand is, I mean, it's a huge new market. Like, I can just pearled ivory, no maintenance, bare knuckles. Like, there are so many of them out there that are, that we're either referring to them as like Instagram brands or influencer brands. And it's like, how do you, what do you think about, like, is that here to stay? Do you think people want to shop like from creators rather than big brands?
I think it really varies. I mean, I will always still go back to J. Crew and buy classic things because I know it's good and I know what to expect and it's a reasonable price. But I think we also are in that world of everyone's chronically online and there's a new brand that pops up every minute. And usually they can just do more interesting or creative or fast moving things. If we're not a trend based brand, but a lot of them are.
Yep.
And if a trend pops up about, let's say, Western belts, a month later, they've got a new Western belt that's out. And a lot of big companies aren't going to do that right on the dime. And so I think the interesting side about these, like, quote unquote Instagram brands is that they're just having fun. They're just adapting. It's just real people that are like, I like that. I'm going to make that. And I think that a lot of the audience resonates with that and they find that interesting and a little bit more compelling than just your big box stores that have been around forever that you know what to expect. Whereas, like, we could put up a collection next summer that has looked nothing like anything we've done in the past, and people might still think it's cool. But J. Crew is not going to do a 180 and start doing avant-garde clothes.
Yeah. Do you feel any sense of like pressure to kind of elevate from some of those brands that might be just selling a trend? Like, how do you focus on quality, especially as somebody that is still like relatively green to the industry?
Yeah, I mean, right from the beginning, I always wanted to separate myself from the brand. And so if you follow me, you know that I run the brand and I'm a huge part of everything that's going on. But if you follow the brand, you might not even know who I am. We had a lot of people coming through the store that were like, "Oh, how long have you worked for the brand?" I'm like, "Oh, no, I own it." And they're like, "Oh, interesting. I followed for 3 years. I had no idea who you were." Like, it's a interesting kind of position that we've tried to put ourselves in. And I think we really focus on the quality, the fit, and the fabric. And the majority of our production is done in the US. It gives us a deeper understanding of everything that happens start to finish. It's easier to control than something overseas. Our factories in LA, we can go see it whenever I want. I can check in on anything whenever I want. And I like to really make sure we're putting something good out there and something that I stand behind. I'm a very uniform dresser. And so if I'm going to put out something that I'm going to wear every single day for the next 2 years, I need to make sure it's actually going to be able to do that.
So that US based production, that's a bit of a change then, because I think a couple of years ago you were kind of primarily in Canada, maybe some Portugal, with knitwear out of China. It sounds like your tenure in LA served you well for kind of establishing a supply chain that's domestic.
Yeah, exactly. I think right around that time we did that first podcast was when I was starting those conversations. And I have no production knowledge or experience. I don't know how to run a brand. So early on, probably right around that time, I had hired a production manager to do everything. And he came with the LA connections as well as some overseas ones. And we just really went back to the beginning. We're like, okay, what's the 10 things we want to make that really feel true to who we are? And then those are now made in the US, everything from made in USA denim to shirting to our cotton production, all that's done there. And then we still do knitwear overseas. We still do accessories like hats and stuff overseas. When it comes to knitwear, they just make it better.
Yes. Yeah, they do.
Every sense of the word. We've looked into some US knitwear. It just doesn't match up and it's way more expensive. The end product is way more expensive. We like to put ourselves just under market for the majority of our products retail wise. And so it just didn't make sense. But yeah, the majority of everything else is in the US, and it's not knowing the tariffs were coming in the last year was a huge benefit for us because a lot of people I know were scrambling. a lot of productions overseas, and they all of a sudden were hit with massive tariffs. And we didn't, for the most part, we didn't have any of that, which was great. The most will be fabric coming in that might be from overseas or Europe or wherever. That gets a bit of a tariff, but at the end of the day, we got really lucky.
Today's episode is brought to you by Masterclass. I've used Masterclass now for a few years, and I have to say it has totally given me confidence in areas of my life that I didn't have it before. One of my favorite Masterclasses that I've done has been Anna Wintour, who is very retail therapy coded, and just hearing her expertise on everything has made me feel much more settled when it comes to approaching things in my professional life and also in my personal life a little bit too. If you're not familiar with Masterclass, Masterclass makes a meaningful gift this season for you and anyone on your list, because both of you can learn from the best to become your best, from leadership to effective communication to even cooking. Whether you're watching Masterclass on TV, listening in audio mode, in the app, or on their site, their quality speaks for itself. It's like Masterclass instructors are your own personal mentors that are going to help you reach the next level. How much would it cost to take a one-on-one class with the world's best? Easily hundreds to thousands of dollars. But with Masterclass's annual membership, it's just $10 a month. I have to say, there are over 180 classes to pick from, with new classes added every month, like that Anna Wintour class that I just mentioned that helped me understand larger branding and marketing ideas, lead a larger team, and just elevate personal and professional style. But there's also just so much more. Boost your confidence and find practical takeaways that you can apply to your life and your work. And if you own a business or a team leader, use Masterclass to empower and create future-ready employees and leaders. This holiday season, give one annual membership and get one free Masterclass at masterclass.com/scaries. Right now, you can get 2 memberships for the price of one at masterclass.com/scaries. Again, that's masterclass.com/scaries. Offer terms do apply.
Well, you mentioned the kind of the trend of it all. You are not a trend-based brand. You've been very true to your aesthetic vision, I feel like, over the last 5+ years, which is this kind of tried and true heritage American style. You know, you've talked a lot about LL Bean or Eddie Bauer, J. Crew.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna look, Randy, am I able to pull up anything, or do Will and I just need to look over at our pages?
Yeah, I just look at your
Okay,
pages.
all right. Well, I'm going to reference, Ethan, I'm referencing your Instagram where you did an editorial this summer featuring a JFK Jr. lookalike.
Yes,
slash model. And I is JFK Jr. the male equivalent of Princess Diana for mood boards and for inspiration?
I mean, yes. There's also that whole American Love Story show that's being shot right now that everyone loves to talk about.
Yeah, so
it's just very timely. Like,
your guy, though, your model I feel like he should have been cast as JFK Jr. He looks more like JFK Jr. than the guy they have running around the streets of New York.
This. I need to brush up. My TV watching's behind, man.
No, this is.
It's not out yet.
Okay.
But people are obsessing over the street shots of them shooting this movie, and they are dissecting, like, especially.
What's up with this? Sounds right for my algorithm.
People are really upset with like the way that they are dressing the actress playing Carolyn Bessette.
Yeah.
They do not think that they are doing her justice, like, whatsoever.
Good. People should get upset over that.
If
they're botching
they're botching some of the wigs, some of the clothing. So there's been a lot of talk about this. And yeah, Ethan did it better with his editorial.
Well, I appreciate that, but Chris, who modeled for that, we've shot with him for years now.
Okay.
I met him back in LA probably like 3 years ago. He was one of our first models, like real models I shot. And he came to me a few months ago and he was like, look, I want to do a JFK shoot. If you're down, let's do it. And I was like, okay,
yeah,
that's a no-brainer. You are like his twin. And so we found a bunch of like your favorite mood board JFK shots that we thought were the most recognizable. And then he lives in New York, so it was pretty easy to recreate. We had some stuff in the fields in Central Park. We had some stuff kind of like Upper West Side, and we tried to match wardrobe, but also just it happened to be things that we already make. So it worked out pretty well. And I don't know, he's a handsome man. So it was pretty easy to make it look good.
And you shot a lot of that on film, right?
Yeah, we shot the whole campaign on film. I kind of go back and forth with film. For years, we only shot film. I like how it looks. It has a feel. I mean, you know all about that with the zines.
Yeah.
It just feels nice and nostalgic. I think especially with that type of like JFK nostalgic shoot, we had to do that. We went through a couple years where we only shot digital for a while, which was interesting and different. And now I'm kind of half and half, depending on what it needs and what it feels like, and kind of, you know, best foot forward type of thing.
Yeah, I always just panic when, you know, taking film for my own personal enjoyment's one thing, but when I'm doing it for something that's either like contracted out or for someone else, it's like, do I have a setting on this camera off right now that's going to completely screw all this film over? And it just stresses me out.
With film or with digital?
Film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Film just always stresses me out, but I love it. That's why I like it.
Yeah, y'all are such. You two are really kindred spirits. You're both like great photographers. You kind of have like similar styles.
The first thing I bought from Every Other Thursday was a vinyl slip map.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was just, I think that's a great entry to the brand. Just accessories in general, I think, are a great entry to like any brand. And I feel like you nailed a lot of accessories or small goods just from the jump, whether it was hats, whether it was, I mean, even now with the new stuff that's come out, I'm still, my card carriers every day is the suede one that you put out earlier this year. It's worn in great.
Speaking of go ahead, Ethan. Sorry.
I was just going to say, on the accessory side, it is the easiest entry point into the brand. And when the brand first started, the audience skewed younger, in the like 20 range, early 20s. And people, when you're that age, you're not spending $200 on a sweater or something, a pair of jeans. And so I want to be part of the brand. I want to be part of the ecosystem. How can I do that? I did the same thing when I was younger with other brands and just trying to get into that. And so I wanted to build that side up as much as possible. The consumer has since grown, but I mean, like the hats, for example, have been, since day one, have been a crazy selling point. Like we go through more hats in a month than we do anything else. It's crazy.
Yeah. I just wanted to speaking of the slip mat, that I think the one that Will's referencing was a drawing of some type of SUV. What was the SUV that was sketched there?
It was loosely like a old Defender.
An old Defender. Okay. Because you've recently acquired what I think many would call a grail of a vehicle. Have you seen this, Will?
Oh yeah, very jealous. Very jealous.
Do you want to? So when I saw those, I saw you in this new truck, which is a vintage Toyota Land Cruiser. Yeah. Haller Brothers, we just did a Land Cruiser collab. I'm very well versed in how obsessive people get with these vintage trucks. So it's very, very cool. It looked awesome that you kind of stripped down, did the whole rebuild, the paint job, everything. But that struck me as a very California thing. Do you have that with you in New York?
Yeah, so it was an import from Saudi Arabia, and originally I was given like a 5-month timeline to get it. And when I had first said, okay, let's buy it, it was May of last year, and I had no plans of moving to New York, and so that was easy. And then things happened, and suddenly it was 10 months later, and it was finally ready and on the boat, and I was now in New York, and so now it is a New York truck.
Okay.
Which I drive it a little less than I would have if I was living in LA for sure, but you know, it's nice to have.
Yeah. What's the parking situation? You have to like keep it in a garage or one of those things where the cars like rotate on
It stresses me out so much
on a
visiting
Ferris
New York
wheel
and
type of
seeing
thing?
the rotating parking garages. I'm like, I can't exist like that.
Is it in one of those?
It doesn't fit in the rotating garage.
Really?
I tried,
okay.
Because there's one close to my house and it's too tall. It's got a couple inch lift and some big tires on it, so it's like 2 inches too tall. So it is in a garage, and the garage is like a 20-minute walk for me, so I'm not using it as much as I need to.
Man.
It's unfortunately a bit more of a weekend car now, but also it'll last longer that way. So
well,
it's okay.
You get to bust it out and take it to the Hamptons for a $7,000 weekend trip, right?
We decided it was more.
No, I raised the price.
Oh, you did?
5,000 was the
5.
the New York Times article.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, you've got some good coastline to kind of explore up there.
Have you been going to Maine a lot?
I went once. Yeah, I've been a few times when I was a kid with my parents. It's a bit of a drive from Toronto, but we went a few times when I was a kid and always loved it. And last few summers, like everyone, we had gone to Europe for a bit and frolicked. in the sun, but this summer I wanted to be a bit closer to home, and the truck came at the right time. And so we did a road trip up to Maine with the new truck, which was really fun, and spent a week just eating lobster and not doing anything else.
Is Maine hot right now? Can you confirm that Maine is very hot right now? Yeah.
We went right at the beginning of July, right after the store ended. And since then, I think 30 influencers I've seen online have gone up and been posting about it. I'm not saying I started that movement by any means, but it is hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Confirmed. Maine.
I know Barrett's been really trying to get us to go.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm fine with going.
We might have to do Maine. We might have to do a Maine trip.
It was one of my favorite places. It was just so relaxed. Like, I'm not a Hamptons guy. I've never been, and I don't really feel the need to go. I don't want to spend $7,000 in a weekend. But Maine, we did some antique shopping and some lobster eating and some reading and some beer drinking. And it's like, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, I was
There's
watching
something very like. I think that's one of the reasons why Maine has become a kind of a hotspot, is because it feels relatively like untouched by like urban commercialization in a way. Kind of like city development, you know what I mean? Like their biggest city is a tiny city.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I was watching some videos of their soccer team the other day because I'm obsessed with their jerseys.
Because you like the shirt, yeah.
And like, you know, the scene outside of the games is people eating oysters and drinking beers, and there's the LL Bean boot trucks chilling out there. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? Like, yeah, maybe Maine is the spot.
Yeah, it might be. It's a good segue into talking a little bit more about just kind of like this East Coast prep as a macro trend. You know, over the last couple of summers, we've not been able to get away from reels talking about like old money aesthetic, and I feel like that has shifted a little bit more into from that kind of core aesthetic, if you will, to just kind of this classic prep look. We've discussed lookbooks from Noah, and just kind of the rise of this very traditional Take Ivy style look. That's kind of always been your thing. You're a big vintage hunter. What I talked about last week was kind of like how what kind of was related to that vintage sourcing. And so for every other Thursday where that's kind of the reference point, the inspiration, are you trying to like iterate and kind of put any type of fresh spin on that? Or is the value prop more like, hey, you don't have to hunt for this 40-year-old garment that's perfect because we're going to reproduce it?
So I wouldn't say that we reproduce. I would say that we're taking that inspiration, whether it's a fit or a fabric or a shape or whatever it might be, and then make it our way. But there's a lot of brands that just do true reproduction of true vintage stuff, and they do it very well. And I have no interest in trying to be part of that crew because I wouldn't do it as well. But some of the people doing the reproduction is truly fascinating. Like the 50s Levi's denim that they're able to reproduce to a T is so cool. But for us, our customer is also not the denim head or the fashion nerd where they care about every single line of stitching and where it is and how it's done. And they're more just looking for nice clothes to wear that are a little bit more interesting. And so for us, it's like, let's start with our dress shirt, for example, is one of our best sellers. And it started with an 80s shirt that I hated the fabric, but the fit was incredible. And it was kind of like that, kind of what J. Crew tried to do with the giant fit, Oxford, which I had one and it was just a little too big, too giant for me. I'm a slim guy. And so it was like not quite the right fit, but ours kind of found that middle ground of it wasn't a slim fit dress shirt, but it wasn't swimming in it. And once we found that, we picked a fabric. We chose to do a garment dye, which we do on a lot of our products because I think it breaks it in nicely and it makes it feel not vintage, but not brand new, fresh out of the box. Kind of hits that middle ground. But yeah, the vintage part of it is so prevalent. And yes, you don't need to buy from us. You don't need to buy from any of these major brands, because everything is a reference to something else. Nothing is new in menswear. Everything has been done before. And even if you think it's new, I bet you someone could find you the reference that they used that is almost a spitting image. And I just think for us, it's more just like, you like our aesthetic, you like the world we've built, and you just like a well-made piece of clothing that is not going to be $350 for a pair of jeans. So you will shop with us.
Yeah. If you had to kind of like add a little bit of of another element, something that maybe is trending out there, whether it's like the Scandi minimalism, like Our Legacy or MF Pen, maybe Western outdoor. What if you had to kind of like reach for one of those other trend lines? What if anything could you see yourself kind of infusing into the brand, or is it very much sticking to the script?
I think the Scandi minimalism, as cool as it is, it's just not me. So I can't do it that way. I do love a good Western, but I also just feel like I'm cosplaying. Like, I don't live in Texas. I don't live in the West. It's just people are gonna call me out if I do that. I'm gonna call myself out. And I think for us, if anything, it's more that, but bringing it back to Maine, is that like East Coast, more rugged side of things. The LL Bean and Eddie Bauer of the world is such a great example of that. Like, they're just wearing Shetland knit sweaters hiking through the forest. And I think that is a unique kind of play into it. You don't need all the fancy gear. You don't need any of that. And I think that makes it just an interesting, fashiony adjacent way of hitting all these different zeitgeist things. You don't need to be the Gorpcore guy to go out into the woods.
Yeah.
You could still just wear a pair of jeans.
I mean, I think a lot of what separates the Every Other Thursday stuff from other staples that I've bought is the cut of everything. I mean, there's nostalgia in that alone. I've had a million gray sweaters in my life, and I've never gotten compliments like I've gotten on the one that you produced that I bought last year. It's just like people, I think there's something about the cut of it that is just classic, and people really gravitate toward it. And I really enjoy knowing that if I purchase something from you, I can trust that. And it just makes it a lot easier and more simple. It's like, if I get an email from Every Other Thursday, I know something is going to be in there that I'm interested in. I know that it's going to be in my lane, and I know that it's going to be well made and well cut. And so I think, I mean, I don't want to say like script or playbook, like you were saying, but I just think you've nailed the aesthetic overall from that perspective. I mean, how much time do you spend going and just trying on samples or getting things recut?
Well, firstly, I really appreciate you saying that. That means a lot. It's kind of exactly what we've tried to do is hit that perfect mark of how it fits. And for me, the fit is everything. I go through 15 different pairs of vintage, whatever, to finally get the one that fits right. And so our value prop was, yes, you don't need to search for that, but also it's not going to look ratty and old like a 50-year-old sweater. But the reason we moved the production to LA while I was living there was because I was able to go. And for the first like 10 major products that we made, I was there every other week trying stuff on. Sometimes we get things right in the first sample. Sometimes it takes 3 or 4. Sometimes we get a few samples in and I just can't figure it out. And I'm like, nope, just scrap it. I don't even want to look at it. We're sitting on all this trouser fabric that I don't know what to do with, because we tried to do a trouser and then I hated it. And so now we're just in the middle of figuring that out. And the fit is the most important part. And every time we get samples in, that's the first thing I want to think about and try on. And like, it needs to hit at the waist at the right spot. It's not cropped, it's not long, it's not boxy. It's just hits all the right pieces. And yeah, the fit is everything. That's my favorite part.
I mean, in a brand that's kind of in its infancy, that's almost the most important thing that you can think about, because I have certain brands where I've purchased something.
If you
from
get
them,
something and it doesn't fit, you're not coming back.
Get the bell ready, Randy.
Oh,
like if I buy any bottoms from Aimé Leon Dore, I know that the waist is going to be a little tighter than I want. It's going to be a little longer than I'm going to have to get it tailored in some way, like without even thinking about it. And I just don't purchase anything like that from them anymore. And with Every Other Thursday, when it comes to all of it, I just know that it's going to be something that I feel comfortable in. And I'm not going to show up to a dinner and have someone be like, wow, you're wearing something wild right now. Like it always is going to be a classic thing for me, and nostalgic in a way.
I think part of that is also, like I said, I'm a uniform dresser. I have like 5 different things I wear and I just cycle through them every week. And at the end of the day, we just make clothes, and I'm not trying to be the fashion brand. I'm not trying to be the trend brand. I just want to make things that are fit good and will last and you just like, and someone will compliment on you. But it's also just clothes. Like, you could buy one piece from us and it will fit with everything else you already own, no matter your style. Or you can buy the entire collection and it would all go together. It's just clothes that fit in your wardrobe and fit you, and that's it. It's just clothes.
And I think that's why I end up wearing this stuff a lot, because it is something that is versatile. I mean, pretty much everything I pack on vacation at this point is every other Thursday, whether it's the crochet polo or a sweater, or I mean, any sweater really. It's just, those are things that I end up packing because I'm like, oh, I can wear this on a cool morning to the beach, or I can wear this sweater to dinner that night. And it's just a very simplistic thing. I mean, when it comes to having producing products that are timeless, we talked recently about how LL Bean vintage tote bags are going for like $500. Would it make you happy or sad in the future if you had some every other Thursday stuff going crazy on eBay?
I mean, I think go for it if you want. I just don't see it as interesting enough to do that.
Yeah.
In the beginning, when we were really young and trying to grow and we're not making enough to supply the demand, we just couldn't afford it, whatever it may be. Things were going on grilled for double what they were worth, and we just couldn't restock fast enough. We've since moved away from that drop model, and so we also keep the heavy hitters in stock all year long, or at least try to. And I think we've removed that sense of like, oh, I need it, so I might buy it on the used market just to be able to get it type of a thing. But I think really it just comes down to, well, on the LL Bean side, I'm a victim to it too. I once bought a thrashed up LL Bean bag from the 80s because I thought it was so cool looking, but also those are still going to hold up and are guaranteed to last another 50 years. But I don't know. I'm not the like hype grail piece type of person or brand. And I think that if it shows up, it shows up, but I don't think anyone cares enough about it for it to show up like that.
Well, I feel like this is a great segue. There's a great opportunity to talk about what you have coming up. We mentioned impending fall weather. I was watching some of your TikToks. It looks like you're back on TikTok, by the way. I think you would kind of you'd kind of like slowed it down a little bit, and now it seems like that's where your content is.
Yeah, for the last like 2 years, I was off it. I just didn't enjoy it. I think there was like a 9-month stretch where I hadn't posted anything. And then when I moved back to New York, I was like, oh, I'm inspired. I'm back. I'm back, baby. And I did that. It led up to the pop-up, so that brought extra eyes. I think that helped as well. But post pop-up, I was so tired and I've fallen off. So I wouldn't say I'm back, but I'm trying. TikTok's just changed a lot, and it's not what it was when I first enjoyed and loved the platform. And to me, it's just not where my energy's at. But in terms of stuff coming up, that's
where I saw a video or a TikTok of you kind of introducing some of the new knitwear. And there's something that's maybe a little bit out of the box for you is this kind of like red marled looking wool cashmere collared sweater that I think you're also doing in a blue. But I really, really like the kind of pinkish red one that's that you're wearing in the video. But yeah, tell us more about what's ahead for fall winter 25.
Once again, we're bullish on knitwear. It's always been my favorite category. I find knitwear is one of the hardest things to buy vintage, whether it's a cotton knit that you just has been thrashed up and doesn't fit the same or shrunk or stretched or whatever it may be, or cashmeres that aren't holding up or whatever it might be. So knitwear, we've always gone heavy on. That gray sweater, Will, that you wear, we have back in a V-neck that I'm actually wearing right now and have been for the last 6 months since I got the sample. We've switched that to 100% cashmere, which is a new thing for us. And I'm just bringing V-necks back. I've decided. I saw a TikTok even this morning of someone trend forecasting for fall, and they said, I think V-necks might come back. And I said, girl, I'm already there. I'm bullish on V-necks.
The look that you've got with the white t-shirt and the V-neck, I feel like I've seen that simmer a little bit. It's very I call it. I mean, it's 90s, but where I feel like it's very Friends core. And I know you're a big Suits guy. I don't know if you're still watching the reruns of Suits, but Friends is like amazing style inspiration.
Oh yeah, when I first started Sunday Scaries, like one of my main inspiration points was just how they dressed and how they lived and the interiors, like everything. It was just so like that show hit me at a formative time in my life. And I think a lot of people in our generation, whether you liked it, watched it, whatever, I think a lot of us have nostalgia for that time because it was just so of the moment.
Yeah. But it feels good now.
I could see Chandler would absolutely be wearing every other Thursday.
Yeah, oh, dude, Ross. They all have that kind of like that oversized like sweater vibe. You see a lot of white tees underneath, but I'm here for the V-neck revival. I don't know if I'm ready for a V-neck T-shirt to come back.
No, absolutely not.
No.
But we're not doing it.
I like it in knitwear.
You have a photo on the website that is kind of a teaser. It says fall winter 26 loading. Are you dipping into ties, or is this for aesthetics?
No, we're bringing ties back. I heard about your on pod cop tie the other week.
His OPC, yeah.
That's right. I am a true fan. I listen weekly. I'm bringing ties back. I don't know if it's partly moving back to New York. Like everyone is dressing for the office or suiting. It's very normal to wear something more dressed up in New York. Whereas in LA, even if I wore like a sport coat in LA, someone would heckle me from the streets. You look crazy. But I'm bringing ties back. We shot a tie on one of our models in January just to spice it up a bit. And I was like, that's cool. We're going to start doing that. So we've been using that. We've got some photos coming out with some ties. It's all just vintage $2 ties from the thrift store. But, the tie's a tie. They all look good.
I'm all for the tie revival.
So knitwear, it looks like maybe a denim shirt. Is the barn coat kind of coming out?
Yeah, we did that heavyweight short coat, barn coat style thing last year.
Okay.
But it was towards the end of the season from some production delays. So we kind of like put it out and then shelved it, ran out of time weather-wise. But that is back. And that's one of my favorite pieces we've ever done. It's heavy, it's thick. I wear it all winter long. That with one of our wool fishermen's underneath, and I'm good for the entire New York winter.
Just for inquiring minds, how does that fit? Is it true to size?
Yes, it is true to size. I wear a large in all of our outerwear. I like to size down to a medium in a lot of our knitwear just because I like a slightly more cropped fit. Not cropped, but a slightly slimmer fit. But yes, that jacket fits true to size. It is going to come stiff. It is a heavy, I think 20 or 22 ounce canvas, kind of like Carhartt level heavy. And then we did a full wool nylon insulation layer through the arms and body. So it will be stiff, but it will break in and it will be your favorite jacket.
So this
might have another OPC on our hands.
I don't think can you? I don't think you. Oh, you can.
They're
OPC
out.
it.
They're out.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
They're at the bottom of the site, but they are there.
So I think it'll be the 24th of August when this releases. What do you have a drop one in schedule or on the schedule?
I don't have a day. I'm hoping for the second week of September.
Okay.
We have kind of like half our stuff in at the warehouse, and then the other half is the knitwear that we're waiting to get off the boat and hopefully hit that September 1 mark. But this year I am really leaning into that 90s Friends style, like you were talking about. The V-necks, the classic straight leg denims. We have a turtleneck coming out that's very When Harry Met Sally, big, bulky, cozy turtleneck. I'm just leaning fully into that, just East Coast, cozy boy winter, we'll call it.
Fine by me.
Yeah.
Fine by me.
That sounds very, very, very up the Scary's alley, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Today's episode is also brought to you by Shopify. When I first started this podcast, it seemed like we had to figure out everything on our own, just from setup to filming schedules to logos. It was all super overwhelming, and every day seemed to introduce a new decision that needed an answer. But when you're starting off with something new, it seems like your to-do list keeps growing every day with new tasks and a list that can easily begin to overrun your life. Finding the right tool not only helps you out, but it simplifies everything, and it can just be such a game changer. For millions of businesses, that tool is Shopify. I've been using Shopify now for years. I don't even know how many years. But if you're not familiar with it, it's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. It really just helps you with everything. It's your own design studio. It's your shipping fulfillment center. It's everything. It makes everything just much more simple to get up and have be beautiful. All you have to do is log in, You select a template, you design your website, you can make it look so much like the brand that you have in mind that it would astound you. And then you can just get the word out. They even have a full marketing team behind you. You can easily create email and social media campaigns for wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And best yet, they are your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. If you're ready to sell, ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into bucks with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period and start selling today at shopify.com/scaries. Again, go to shopify.com/scaries. Again, shopify.com/scaries.
You have any other EOT questions before I jump into some?
I'm kind of looking forward to your segment.
Yeah?
Yeah, I am.
Let's jump into it then. Ethan is obviously a big vintage hunter. He's got his own brand, so that's where he is mostly doing his shopping and his clothing purchases. But you were on the hunt for your shoe or your sneaker of the summer.
Boy, was I ever.
That was a fun one to follow. And so I wanted to ask you about that, and then I want to run through some footwear trends. And we'll play a bit of a game here. Before you kind of answer what the results of your hunt were, I will say I got to gas you up because you were way early on the Dries sneaker last fall. I tuned into the sneaker conversation on TikTok, and you were kind of trashing them, which was fair. I have my pair on today. They're not the most comfortable sneaker ever. I'm about to, after this podcast, I'll probably be doing a little bit of returns, walking up and down South Congress. So I'm gonna put them to the test. It'll probably be the most walking I've ever done in them. Austin is another driving city. We don't get to walk a whole lot. But even when I just have them on at the office, I'm like, yeah, okay. They really suck with socks.
Why do they suck? They look like they'd be better with socks.
The way that they fold, like at the toe, like kind of scrunches a sock into your foot in an uncomfortable way.
Okay.
So they look great. You were way early on them, but it sounded like you had to search for something else. What did you come up with?
Yeah, I mean, my gripe with those is that it's a fashion shoe, and fashion shoes are not comfortable, and you have to just be okay with that. I was not okay with that. I really wanted them to be good, and just walking on a piece of cardboard was not going to do it for me. So I started looking around, and living in New York, all I do is walk. Right. So I needed something better, but I'm also, I have not had a child yet, so I have not progressed into the dad shoe territory. I can't quite fully commit. The ones Will's wearing right now, I bet are so comfortable. The Tom Sachs, but I'm not ready.
Every single dad that I encounter is like, "Hey, what are those? What are those?" And I don't want to tell them, "Hey, you're going to have to go on a resale site right now."
It's too bad that you have to send them a link to StockX to get them.
Yeah, it's annoying. Yeah, it's annoying. Most dads don't want to go on StockX.
Yeah,
they don't know what StockX is.
Yeah, exactly.
It is not the everyman shoe as much as it is marketed as the everyman shoe.
True.
Right.
The shoe of the summer really, it took a turn. I had tried a pair from a brand Pompeii out of Spain. I have a couple things from them in the shoe department. They're good. It was a little too sneakery for me. I was very lucky to try a pair from this brand Paine out of China, Pane, which I think that video did 1 million views on each platform, and it set the internet on fire because you cannot buy them in the US. There is no online store. The only availability is in China.
Okay.
And so you just can't get them, but they look great. And so everyone was losing their mind. It is just like a classic German army trainer style.
But with a little bit of this like torpedo sneaker, it's like a deconstructed GAT basically, compared to the Margiela or the Adidas.
I could like squish it like a sandwich and it would crumple. And I think that's why I liked it, because it was so slim and so easy. I can't recommend them enough. I mean, long days walking, your feet will end up hurting, but just because it's a little flat, kind of like a Vans in that way. But, they look good. They got some fun colors. I have a bright blue pair that I wore yesterday that are just fun to have. I have no real bad things to say about it other than you just can't buy them.
Like there's no no proxy service, no like you like.
I was told that Poizon, Poizon, is a Chinese shopping app that you can buy them, but they don't ship to the US. They ship to the Europe and Australia.
So you really got to jump through some hoops.
They're also like $220 retail US. So it's not like a cheap thing to just jump into either.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They were good.
You're probably going to get hit with that 30% tariff from UPS on the way in too now.
I mean, at one point, it was like mid-July, and I was like, what if I just go get another pair of Vans? What if I just take it back to my teenage years and say, you know what? Enough of all this shoe of the summer. Let me get that $50 Vans that I know will work.
Yeah.
I mean, the J. Crew Vans shoot from recent memory was delightful.
Look, I'm speaking of revivals. I think Vans are definitely back.
My sons love them. They're big menswear guys.
Your sons?
Yes.
Your two sons?
Yep.
They have kids Vans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The gum
Nice.
shoe?
Oh,
yeah. It sticks them to the ground. It's great.
That's sick.
It weighs them down.
We have a fall winter campaign shoe coming up, and I'm debating between styling with Vans or a high top Converse, and I think both are poised for a comeback.
Yeah. There's a square toe Converse Chuck 70 that is only in Japan right now. Speaking of things that we can't get here in the States, that is so sick. I mean, it's a little like, it's trendy with the square toe, but I really, really want a pair.
I can't, I don't see a world where I'm adding these to the cart.
But I love that. You can't go wrong with either of those. Vans, I feel like kind of like dips in and out, like obviously never like fully out in the way that type of sneaker is never really is, but Cons like the all-time classic. Like Chuck 70 is never in or out really for me.
No, I've never been able to pull them off because I'm self-conscious about my dad legs in a shoe that kind of is more.
Well, that's what you just wear them with pants. I'm not wearing the high tops with shorts.
See, I just go Vans with pants.
Yeah.
My big thing with shoes, last comment on the shoes. I've always bought a lot of different sneakers trying to find these thing. And at the end of the day, it just has to be the one that works with everything you own bottoms wise. You just go with your jeans, it goes with the shorts, it goes with sweats. Like it's got to just work no matter what you want. The shoe of the summer, you just have to be able to put on and it works. And then that's it. You don't think about it.
Well, I'm gonna run you through some other sneaker trends or some shoe trends rather that I'm seeing out there, Ethan. And I feel like each of these could potentially work with the kind of the aesthetic and the look that EOT is bringing. But I want to get Ethan's take on them. And if you so choose, you can use some of these ratings that I've put together for you based on youth slang and also my own reference points. You can reply that this is Aura type shit, twin, for at least the next 2 seasons. You can say on the rise by 6'7" pairs. You familiar with 6'7", Randy?
This 6'7" thing is very new to me.
You can say ubiquitous, but not yet mid, bruh. Or you can say, that's chopped, big bro. Put him in a coffin.
Is chopped happening? I like chopped.
Chopped is huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you know these things? Do you follow that guy on Instagram that explains everything?
The teacher that explains it all.
Yeah, he might get a follow from me.
Dude, yeah. I had no fucking clue what 6'7" was until yesterday.
I still don't know what it means.
It doesn't mean anything.
Oh, okay.
People, they're literally just saying it. They just say 6'7".
But aren't they saying a new number now? Like 41?
41. Yeah, 41. That's the new one. Yeah. But according to all reports, 41 is not having the same type of success as 6'7" because it's trying to be 6'7" too hard.
It doesn't have that 6'7" motion.
It doesn't have that motion. Yeah, it doesn't have the same aura.
6'7".
You do not have to repeat those back unless you want to, Ethan. Okay, the first one is a gathered toe loafer. We'll have to find some way to put this up, but this is an evolution of like kind of your classic slip-on loafer. The Row is doing them. Vinny's is doing one. YSL has a really popular one. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. My favorite is the Marcel Moccasino. It's basically a loafer that has like all the leather kind of pinched and gathered at the toe. Where are we putting those, Ethan?
I'm big. I'm bullish. I'm aura points high or whatever it was that you said.
That's aura type shit, twin.
That's aura type shit. No, Okay, adding to your list, Banana Republic mock toe loafer.
They're in back order. They're on back order, right?
Yeah, it might have been thanks to me, but
Okay, all right.
I want to pat myself on the back. No, I somebody from Banana reached out back in like March and was like, "Hey, do you want any gifting?" And I was like, "Yeah, you guys are doing a revival. I would love to check it out." And I hop over to the shoe page as I often do, and here was the mock toe loafer, fully in stock, freshly on the site. It said new release or something. I was like, "That looks great." And so since then, I have worn those probably 3 times a week.
Okay.
For 8 months or 6 months, whatever it's been since I got them. And I ran with them hard, and everyone online, I think, has a pair now. They are back ordered, but I would recommend getting them. They're apparently coming in October. I might buy a second pair at that point to just, have one on ice.
I don't even see them on the site anymore, actually.
You have to go by the link. If you go through my shop, you can get a nice direct link there.
All right.
But they hit it because they sold too well.
Yeah. Okay. My next is the we've kind of already mentioned them, but the Torpedo sneakers, whether it's the Drees or the Margiela Sprinter. There's a Jacquemus tennis sneaker that looks great. Where are you at on these?
Oh, I don't know. It might be chopped at this point. I think it's just like, since when did we all become okay with spending upwards of $1,000 on a sneaker? I just don't know when that happened. The Prada Monte Carlos got re-released, which the vintage ones I've had on a mood board for ages, and they're the same kind of style. But again, that's I think $1,200. You got the Prada Collapse ones,
which are
that are very similar style.
Yeah.
I can't spend $1,000 on a pair of shoes that'll
think
last me a year.
That's why the Drees are so approachable, though, because you're getting a designer label, you're getting a designer a designer take on the trend, and they're half the price. I think that's why they've hit so well.
Yes, but 1 year later, mine have holes.
Yeah.
They're not, it's the tiniest, thinnest sole with a supple leather. You scuff it on a curb and there's a hole in your heel. Like I can't justify.
I tried on a pair of the Sprinters at By George a couple weeks ago, and I don't think they're going to hold up a whole lot better. That's just kind of the nature of this super flat, track inspired
I'm
shoe.
deathly scared of the entire style.
Yeah.
But hey, if you're Harry Styles, it looks great.
It does. Jacob Elordi, Harry Styles, they're crushing the look. Moving on to Will's chosen look of the summer. How about boat shoes? Any chance you'll be styling with boat shoes?
I wanted to so badly. I almost got the suede ones that J. Crew put out. But I have just been tormented by the boat shoes of my youth that I've worn for many a year and gotten made fun of for many a year. I was the kid in high school that wore them with socks after I took my boots off once I got into school because of the snow outside. That was like my indoor shoe.
Were you doing the Nike socks in the boat shoe?
No, it was worse. It was like a nice Argyle sock from American Eagle or a very patterned one. It was terrible. I don't know if I can go back.
Yeah. I also have a similar, I can't go back sense, but it's more because we beat them into the ground in college and I can't remove the fraternity connotation from them, the Southern fraternity connotation.
I was just different. I grew up in an area where everybody was wearing them all summer. My dad still wears them in the middle of winter. We had to force him to get a pair of boots because he was just wearing boat shoes to go shovel the driveway. And it's like, you can't be doing that.
I will say, I think was it 2 years ago, I was in Paris and I had bought a pair of the Timberland lug boat shoes and I wore those to the ground. And then I did get a pair similar from Pompeii that I spoke of from Spain that are a similar kind of style. I think a lug boat shoe I can get behind, and I have for a couple years now, but the full flat sole deck shoe is just, it feels like after the Aritzia one launched and the Miu Miu, it's just like a little too much for me.
All right, we've talked a lot about kind of low top, maybe more summer oriented type stuff. Let's move it into a fall winter area. How about the Camion style boot?
I have a pair.
316, Our Legacy, Collegium has a kind of a dupe. What do you think about these?
I bought a pair of Camions on sale probably 3 years ago now from Essence. I think on one of their first cycles in the zeitgeist, and as much as I think they're a very great shoe, I don't think they're made very well, and mine are falling apart after maybe a couple dozen wears. But I love the style. I'm also just not a boot guy, so I'm like I would still wear a smaller shoe all winter rather than a full on boot.
On the last pod, you mentioned Clarks are pretty classic heritage type of shoe. Are you a Wallabies guy, more of a desert boot?
I have been a Wallaby guy for a long time. I had a desert boot in high school, but I've owned probably 8 different pairs of Wallabies in the last 5 years. I at one point had a lovely connection with the Clark's Originals team, and every few months would get a fresh pair, which there's nothing better than a fresh pair of Wallabies.
Yeah.
They haven't been in the rotation, but you know what? They might need to come back since it's fall. It feels like the time. But my issue with them is they just get so gross so fast.
Yeah, the gum sole is or that crepe sole rather.
Yeah.
Gets pretty gnarly pretty quickly.
It's like gum on the bottom of a desk.
It is, yeah.
There's no way to clean it.
Ethan, if you had like right now, what would your dream shoe collab be? Or if you were going to design your own for every other Thursday, what is...
We looked at designing something. This summer, I was really trying to find the perfect like slip-on mule slipper type thing, and just couldn't find the one that I felt was it. I would like to do that, but I think the only boot I wear all winter long is a hiking boot, but a very kind of slim down version. I have a pair from Morehouse that I've had for a few years that I love, but I don't know. I don't have that shoe collab in mind right now, but I definitely think we could make something. But shoes are a whole world that I'm afraid to enter.
I've got 2 more shoes here. I'm gonna Y2K performance runners. You already kind of mentioned that you're not ready for the dad shoe life yet. So I'm going to jump on to this final one. You did spend your summer and now you'll spend your fall in New York, but the New York boys, the Dime Square crew, the Nolita Dirtbags, we're trying to make flip-flops happen. Where are you landing on that?
You know what? I don't really need to see men's toes. I think at the end of the day, men have big feet, and I think a big foot in a shoe just open to the world like that, especially in New York, where it has some very gross ground and subways, etc. It's just like not necessary. You can wear a sandal. I was big on Huaraches this year. I wore them to the ground, and it's a nice way to have that breathable sandal look without keeping your dogs out. I think the girls do the women wear flip-flops a lot better.
I agree with that. Yeah. I like it on women.
And I think unless you're just living by the beach or on the boat, you don't really need a pair of flip-flops.
Yeah.
Just leave them at home. I haven't worn flip-flops in years at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I look, I've got, it's Austin, Texas. I've got a pair of flip-flops. You know what I mean?
I have them, but I haven't even thought about getting them.
I'm just not pulling them out for anything that I'm calling style or fashion.
No.
Yeah. No. Will, let's jump into your segment.
What? Oh, you want to talk culinary?
Let's talk some culinary.
So you went to culinary school. Did you have like an expertise? Did you have like an end goal in mind? Did you have like what drew you to it?
I was in high school, and I went to culinary right out of high school, and I was in high school trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and my parents were both like, just pick something and go somewhere for some sort of school. And I thought, well, I like to cook, so maybe that seems like an easy choice. And I did a 2-year program, and within the first semester, I was like, yeah, this is not what I want to do for a living. This is not going to be it for me, but I still love cooking. And so the school was great. The program was great. I did a co-op term in between the 2 years where I worked in a kitchen for the first time and really cemented the fact that I didn't want to do that as a career. But again, that was a skill I had with very little other skills. So I worked in kitchens for a few years at least after that, before I transitioned to photography, etc. But I still love cooking. I didn't have a specialty or anything, but it was just cool. I think that's one of the coolest programs you can do, even just as an adult, to do like a 1-year night school cooking program. You just learn so much of the foundations and the basics. And there's so many things when we're just cooking a random meal that I'll be doing, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a blah 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 that I learned how to make this French sauce base that comes in handy when I make gravy.
Are like when you're doing you're making a soup, you're doing the mirepoix. Are you just like, are you so fast with the chopping? Are you going through the onions, carrots, and celery just like a pro?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm big on chopping. That was like the first thing you learn in school.
Yeah,
Is you
yeah.
just like stand there and you cut things all day long. And one of the jobs I had post school was in a vegan restaurant in Toronto, and so all I did was cut vegetables all day long. Every kind of vegetable you could think of.
I would like to go just for the chopping days.
Yeah.
Just to up, like I'm the chef in my household. I do most of the cooking. I generally like to cook, but I'm slow at prep.
Just get on YouTube.
That YouTube, I'm not gonna trust some YouTuber. I'm gonna chop my finger off.
Don't diminish YouTubers.
I need Carmi, to
you don't
show
want
me
to
how
work
to
with
do
Carmi.
this.
No one wants to work. No one should work with Carmi. Carmi should not be in charge of anybody. He's not a fit leader.
No, I like him. His style resonates with me.
Does it?
Yeah, he's a good chopper.
You seem like, I mean, just having an interest in food, you have to have an interest in restaurants, right?
Yes.
Were you just feasting in New York the entire time the store was open?
Yeah, it's because I was working 11 to 7 every day. I don't think I cooked once that entire month. I couldn't be bothered. And ever since we moved to New York, I've just at least 3 nights a week we're out for dinner just because why not? You're there. I feel like for so many years I traveled to New York and tried to like fit every single thing into a long weekend trip or whatever it may be. And the fact that we live there now is like a kid in a candy store. There's just like so many options. And unfortunately, we live in a time of massive reservation time windows of 2 weeks out trying to book a restaurant, which is absolutely ridiculous. But you know what? It's fine. I'll book. I'm big on the like, I'm going to book a table for 4 at this restaurant I really wanted to go to a month from now, and then we'll see who's around.
Yeah.
It's the only way
My
to go.
fiance Sarah will be around. Maybe another 2 friends of ours. Some go with the boys. Like I don't know. I wanted to go there, so I'm gonna book it. We'll figure it out when we get there.
Okay, as we know, drink goes with food. Something I appreciate about you is that you've been drinking Guinness in the summertime, which a lot of people don't have the guts to do, frankly. And so I wanted to get your take on this. I don't know how much you like each of these things, but I feel like it's a good way to do an F, Marry, Kill.
Sure.
Which I'm calling Cop Cart Return.
I like it.
In the retail thing. Do you like that?
Yeah, that's good.
That was new. I saw you bringing it, and so I was like, I need to
Yeah.
put something in here.
Yeah. This is probably more palatable to our audience than me saying aura type shit.
That's gas, twin. So I'm going to give you 3 options here, and you're going to choose one to cop, one to just leave in your cart for a little bit and simmer on, and then one that you're just returning.
Easy.
Wine bar, Irish pub, hotel bar.
That's hard. It's
This
kind of
is
like
hard.
3
It's
good
supposed
ones.
to be
This
hard.
is hard.
It's supposed to be hard.
You know what? At this point, I think I will return the hotel bar.
Okay.
I know you are a big fan of a hotel bar, but unless it's a truly exceptional hotel bar, it's not going to do it for me. Like they need to have a killer cocktail menu. They need to have that mixologist person behind the bar that really knows their shit. And if it's just like fine, it's just not going to do it for me. I will return that. I will cart a wine bar because you know what? It's always there for you. And in New York, there are a dime a dozen, and sometimes they got good food and it's casual. I like it. And then I will cop the Irish pub, mostly because this summer I have been big on Guinness, and I'm planning on going to get a couple tonight.
Where are you at on this? Do you have an answer for this?
I actually very much like your answer, Ethan. For me, a hotel bar, it has to be the right hotel bar. It has to be relatively empty so you can actually sit down and not like the popular hotel bar.
Mm-hmm.
It does have to have, I like having a deep list of selections at a hotel. Like I feel like a lot of hotels stock things deeper than like your normal bar would because they have people that just come in and want to drink something nice. So I always find that to be interesting. But I think I'm definitely going to cop the Irish pub. I'm going to cart the hotel bar, and then I'm going to return the wine bar. But that is more because I don't think Austin is as good of a wine bar city as other cities are.
Right. Yeah. We have a couple of good ones, but certainly not in a New York style.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I want to cop the Irish pub as well. I want to be one of the fellas, but that's exactly it. The Irish pub is for the fellas. I'm not getting my wife into Kelly's, man. Like she doesn't want to go drink Guinness with me.
Well, then you got to
know
bop.
what I mean?
You got to bop. It's a lads tour.
So it's for lads only. That's why I think I'm carting Irish pub. And
I think it's a time and place though, because on the way up to Maine, we stopped in Boston for a couple nights. I hadn't been since I was a kid. Sarah's never been. And we went out for dinner one night and I was like, we're here. We have to go to a pub. I have to have a Guinness in the land. And so we went. And as soon as we walked in the door, there was like the bar with 20 Guinness being poured for some table in the back that was just having a night. And I was like, we are in a great place, Sarah. I don't know why we haven't just spent the entire time here. We walk in, and you know what? If Guinness is not everyone's drink, not everyone wants to have a Guinness. And as long as you can get something, you can go to the pub and enjoy the Guinness.
Right.
And Sarah, when we were there, had a blue moon and loved it. You know what? Like, that's good enough. You're in the door. You let me have my fun. I had my pint. I said, hey, and then we left. And that was good enough.
I'll have to try it. You know, just making the pitch.
Come on,
Getting her in
Barrett.
the door.
Come on.
Yeah.
They have good food. They have good food.
I like the food. Yeah. Yeah. What's next, Will?
Should we do our favorite things?
Let's do some favorite things. We can jam through these. I know Ethan's got a little bit of a call here in a second.
True.
I already pushed it, so don't
You
even
did
worry
push
about
it? Okay. All right. Thank you for hanging out with us and vibing. So Will and I usually kind of wrap up with wish list items, but I thought maybe something more interesting for us to do today would be to talk some things about some of our favorite things that we've enjoyed over the summer that are not clothing related. This could be homewares, fragrance, incense, food, beverage, accessories, anything you like. Just give us some deets on something kind of off the beaten path that you've been enjoying that you've been enjoying. And I'm up to start. I don't know which one of you wants to talk about your favorite things first.
Go for one?
Okay, I'll go.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So this is Will, are you a flosser?
You know, not in this sense. I'm more of a pick guy because I'm lazy.
Well, I
don't like the environment.
You don't like doing the dance from Fortnite?
No, I don't.
I've
tried flossing.
You don't like showing off your favorite luxury items by flossing when you go to the hotel bar?
No, I struggle to floss. My floss does not turn out like it's supposed to.
I am talking about dental floss.
You got some baller floss here.
And this, I took the plunge on luxury floss. This is the Cocoa Floss from Cocoa Lab. It is $10 for one thing of floss, but this is absolutely game changing. This is going to elevate your entire bedtime routine. You've never flossed like this, y'all. This is next level luxury.
It's textured and pro grade.
It tastes like coconut oil. It's amazing. It actually is like if you're a flosser, trust me on this. You have to check out the Cocoa Lab floss.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's going to be a stocking stuffer for my wife.
It's a great stocking stuffer.
Can confirm, my fiance Sarah's been buying it for multiple years now. It's the only one we have in our house.
I got fed up with. I used to like the Oral-B. It's like the green box. It's like it's real smooth. They changed the formula or something. It's a piece of shit now. And so I stopped buying it. I was looking for something else. You pitch me something in a beautiful package like this at a price that's kind of absurd, and I'm in.
I get it. Who's going next?
Let's hear it.
I can do it.
Hey, Ethan.
No,
go.
Ethan time.
Because we spoke about drink, I will put in my forever drink of the summer. I know we're at the end of the summer, but I thought I might make it in since it's still August. Every year I get quite excited to pull out a Radler. And I don't know if everyone is into the Radlers because I was out with some friends not too long ago in New York and I was like, should we get some Radlers? We're out for brunch. And everyone looked at me like I had 6 heads. But a nice light beer, half fresh grapefruit juice is the best drink all day long. On the beach, at the brunch, I don't care. I want it. It's harder to find, but it is my favorite.
That's a pro move over a mimosa, I do think.
I agree.
The champagne gets to your head.
See, I need to get more well versed in the Radler game.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like something I'd be into, and it's just something I don't deploy often enough.
Kind of sounds like a good golf course drink as well.
Oh yeah,
I could do that. I could do that.
There's a few brands that make them like in the cans, ready to go. But a couple weeks ago, when we were at some spot in New York, and they had Sunday beer, which is a new brand I hadn't heard of. It's a lighter Sunday beer, I guess. And they had fresh squeezed grapefruit juice on the menu too. So I did a little half and half, give me a big glass at the table and I'll make it myself kind of a thing. And it was smacking.
I sense a collab.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Sunday beers?
That sounds nice. I don't like to drink too many beers on Sundays though.
Oh, okay.
I like a sober Sunday.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Well, you
will
don't wanna
have
get
one
Sunday
beer in the
scared.
afternoon. One beer in the afternoon.
Well, that's what the Sunday beers is for. I'm just saying. It seems like
I know.
like
I think
synergy.
that's the whole
synergy.
point.
It's going to be hard to bite to get the Guinness out for Sunday,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah.
I'm going scented candle.
Okay.
I got this scented candle over the winter, but I have been really burning it this summer. It is called the Binu Binu Tea Ceremony Candle, and I just absolutely love it. It's the first time in a very long time that I've been like blown away by a candle. It's got black tea, cedarwood, clay. It's good enough that I want to try another one of their candles that they just released that is called the Korean Kiln Sauna Candle. If that doesn't sound like a must cop, then I don't know what would. Pine, juniper, birch, hay, firewood. But it's just a great candle. I'm telling you. I don't think this is a traditional candle company. I think they mostly just make things that are for your bathroom, different soaps, things
Binu
like
Binu.
that.
I'm familiar with it because Canoe Club carries it.
Yeah,
They do the
exactly.
soaps and stuff. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
And like the candle itself, it smells so damn good that I found myself in a position that I don't like to be in, which is not burning it because I don't want to waste it all rather than simply enjoying it all the time. But I've been burning it more this summer because I want to use it up. And
Yeah.
I just absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
All right, I'm hitting food, and unfortunately, I think this is going to be for my Texas peeps out there because I can't find this anywhere but Central Market. So this is limited. I hate to do this to y'all, but this is a brand called La Rev, and they're doing gelato and patisserie, and their roasted pistachio gelato has that's what I'm eating for dessert these days. I need a little something sweet after dinner. This has stayed in my freezer all summer long. If you like a pistachio gelato or pistachio ice cream, which I'm a big fan of, I'm always on the lookout for ones that are as good as like going to a gelato shop and getting it there. This is the closest I've gotten.
I've eaten more ice cream this summer than I have since I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
I cannot stop doing it.
Yeah. I didn't get to leave the house a lot this summer. That's what I had going for me is my ice cream at the end of the night, my gelato, my roasted pistachio.
That's the light at the end of the tunnel.
Gelato, yeah.
All right. I think I'm going to go skincare. I heard on a couple weeks ago, you guys talking about Margin. Drew, who runs Margin, is a friend of mine from Toronto as well. And I will shamelessly plug, but it is a great product, is their new serum. It is a DHK serum, I think. I don't know if you guys have that as well, but it is phenomenal. He markets it as like anti-aging. It's got some stuff that I won't begin to understand that is like the only one in the market that has this type of active ingredient, and it truly does work wonders. His whole line is incredible. Everything smells good. Everything has nice packaging, nice touch points. But I've always been big on skincare, and I will plug up Margin for that.
The packaging is awesome.
It's so
like,
good.
It's art. Like
Yeah.
the art on it is so good. That I've been using the face wash that Margin sent. I have the DHK serum too, but I have not tested it out yet. But I've been using the face wash.
I've been waiting to open it until I finish the stuff that I'm currently on because I'm trying to get rid of vessels within my bathroom.
Yeah,
and
you can't just yeah.
I'm very excited to dive in. And this is, now that you've given it the endorsement, that's going to shoot to the top of the list.
I'm on my second bottle. It's that good.
Well, I'm going to stick in the same vein. I'm going to go hair care. My wife bought a conditioner from Bondi Boost, and I feel bad how much I've been using it compared to her. Like, I don't know why I like this so much. I think it's just the scent. I don't think it has anything to do with what it actually does to my hair. But there's something about the scent that makes me feel like I'm like a swimsuit model, just like in the ocean, just putting water through my hair.
It says fragrance. It's a zingy natural peppermint for a pep in your step. Does it put a pep in your step?
A little bit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this morning I was looking at my conditioner, and then her side of the bathroom. And I just thought to myself, I'm going to use more of the
I'm
Bondi
going
Boost.
over there,
Yep. I want to feel like Tosh Oakley right now, just hanging out.
Okay. All right. It's so humid here in the summer that I find myself not using my conditioner very often.
No, I got a condition.
You got a condition.
I got a condition.
Are you a
these days.
co-washer? You know what that is?
No, I don't know what you're talking
That's
about.
where you don't use shampoo. You just use conditioner.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a thing.
No,
That's a
I've been
thing.
going every 3 days, just hitting both. Moving on.
Ethan, what's your go-to hair product? You got great flow, great wavy hair.
Oh, it has been a lifelong journey of trying to find the best product. I actually just switched my entire routine as of 2 weeks ago, so I will report back. But for the longest time, I have quite curly and thick hair, and I was on a full Kevin Murphy kick. I know you like the Kevin Murphy paste.
Yep.
I had their shampoo and conditioner, which was good. Nothing crazy. I had some Keel stuff before that for shampoo and conditioner, which was good. But the Kevin Murphy Freehold paste was great to define the curl, but not make it crunchy and sticky. Short hair, long hair, I think it worked wonders. But my big product right now is Oway Smoothing Cream, I think it's called. The place I go to get my haircut in Brooklyn only uses their products. And since moving to New York, I have now been introduced to this product, and it is now my favorite product. So we will use that. And then I'll use a paste of some sort just to lock it all in because I got a lot of hair. But it's like the best thing ever. It smells incredible. It's like all natural, made in Italy, blah blah blah. But it's really really nice.
That's spelled like Ouai, right?
No. Oway.
Okay.
Yeah, not way.
Not way.
The fun,
yes,
whatever brand that is. No, this is like some very science heavy brand from Italy.
Okay.
Oway, and I just bought their shampoo and conditioner and their cream paste as well because I like this one product so much that I've decided to go all in.
It does say it tames thick and rebellious hair. Would you consider your hair to be rebellious?
Quite rebellious. I often wake up and it has a mind of its own.
See, it was almost a good segue because I've been stealing my wife's Ouai shampoo as well lately.
Okay.
Not all the time.
So I like the way dry shampoo, but I go through it so fast. I had to switch to something else. Too expensive. I go through it too fast.
That's very responsible of you.
Yeah. Well, I'm spending $10 on dental floss now. So, I got to make cuts, make cuts somewhere.
Yeah.
Do we want to do round 3?
I can do round 3.
Okay. All right. I'm going jewelry here. Look, I get served with the Chrome Hearts subreddit all the time, and I don't really get it, but it's sort of like have just like washed over me over the last year. And while I think Chrome Hearts is insane, and the people that are spending that amount of money on sterling silver are just absolutely unhinged, I do kind of appreciate the like gothic sterling silver look. And so there are a couple of jewelry brands that I discovered through a shop called Self Edge. Good Art Hollywood is basically doing Chrome Hearts at half the price and cooler designs, in my opinion. And then what I picked up is from a brand called Werkstatt München, a German brand. And it's this super simple curb chain with a snap link that I'm wearing today. And it's like a little bit of that flavor. It's like a little bit of that kind of like chunky silver jewelry that I think is kind of cool at a price that was far more approachable for me than anything from Chrome Hearts or even Good Art. As I've mentioned over the past couple of weeks, I've really been like, because I'm not going out as much, because I'm not doing as much, I've been like looking at sunglasses and jewelry a lot more than clothing. So that's my final thing is this curb chain from Werkstatt.
Is that what you have on right now?
Yeah, it's this silver one.
The whole jewelry thing is interesting. I think that more than ever, people online are talking about jewelry and accessories as like the new way to find your personal style or whatever that buzzword is that they choose to open their TikTok hook with. I think maybe it's just because everyone wears a variation of the same type of clothes, and maybe jewelry is a way to accessorize that and stand out a bit more. And you know what? I got to step up my accessory game, I think.
Well, you got you just flashed a signet ring that looked pretty sweet.
Yeah, I've had a signet ring since I was 18. My dad gave it to me as a gift. He has one that his dad gave him, and so it's kind of like part of the family tradition, I guess. But it's the only, other than my watch that I wear 50% of the time, it's the only piece of jewelry I wear. and have for at least, I didn't wear it right when I got it, so it's been at least 7 years now. But
I'm ready to become
I
a
love
ring boy. We talked about this on Gift Guide last year. I'm ready. I just haven't made it happen yet.
I don't even wear my wedding ring.
Yeah.
I can't have anything on me. I just can't. Like it just drives me insane.
What's your last item? Or no, Ethan is
Ethan's up.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go in the kitchen. I am going to do some wine glasses from Hudson Wilder. They are out of New York. They've got a spot in Dumbo. It's beautiful. Conway is a very nice guy who runs it. Very fashion forward type of establishment. They've got a fun little like coffee bar / DJ night or whatever fun event he's throwing there down in Dumbo. But we bought their stemware back in, Sarah got them for me for Christmas, actually. We upgraded our wine glass game, and they are some of the nicest wine glasses I've ever used, felt. I feel like I'm going to break them every time I touch them because they're so thin and dainty, but it's like the perfect size, perfect length of stem, perfect thin on the lip. It's beautiful.
Is it the Brandt hand-blown wine glasses set of 4? Kind of rounder?
Yes, and the cool
these
thing is that it's all one piece of glass. Usually
these
the
are awesome.
Yeah.
The cup, the stem, and the base are 3 pieces put together, but this is all one.
These are nice because they don't look super like traditional. Like they have a little bit of like an eclectic shape to them, which is kind of funky. These are cool.
I mean, thin wine glasses are just hot. Hot, right? No one wants a thick stem right now.
Thick stems out. What's your final favorite thing, Will?
I'm trying to really gear up for the time in my life where I'm just carrying a bag on me at all times, just like a handbag, and I'm going a little smaller right now because ever since I got this thing, I have loved carrying it around, and it's the Quiet Golf Sentinel collaboration for this little scout bag. It's essentially the size of what you would carry a small pair of binoculars in, or just whatever.
Are you carrying a camera in this
I've been carrying my camera in it. I went to something the other day and simply put my wallet and keys and everything in it and just had it just so I wouldn't like misplace anything. I found myself to be more scattered brain lately. And so I've really been trying to figure out how to keep all my stuff in one place. And I've just really enjoyed having it. Like it's camouflage. It's just kind of cool. And I really just think it's one step in the direction of me just carrying a bag on me at all times. I think it just needs to happen. But when you get something in the mail and you like put it in a visible spot in your room just so you can be like, oh yeah, I just got that. I love that. That's just what I've been doing.
Okay.
I've been carrying my camera places I don't need to just because I want to carry this thing around.
This is far more rugged than an Alordi Bottega handbag though.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
You just start and you got the camo, make you feel comfortable.
Yep. Maybe it'll blend in. People can't see it. And
Right.
I'll get to the Alordi handbag at some point.
Maybe you need to go vintage LL Bean mini tote. That'll cost you maybe $1,200.
Yeah.
It's probably about the same size.
Yeah. I've considered going mini tote. It drives me insane to not have a closure on something that I'm carrying with me like often, especially of that size where I have small little things in it. I need a closure. I just need it. Maybe there is a zip closure. I don't know.
I've got one more thing for us.
Okay.
I did not have ChatGPT write this paragraph. I wrote this one. Okay. We are a Sunday Scaries property. And I felt like, especially knowing now that Ethan is no longer living in Los Angeles and he is in New York, I wanted to read back what he gave for his Sunday answers and see if he needed to update his file on Sunday Scaries.
This was not on the rundown.
Yeah, no, little, he pushed back his call. We might as well go for it, man, while we got him. All right, on a Sunday, you can catch Ethan up early, making himself an Americano, hot, of course, with a splash of steamed oat milk. He knows his way around a Turkish breakfast and prefers his eggs over easy, but he may have gotten too distracted watching Suits reruns to make himself something to eat. If he had a big Saturday night, it probably included a gin and tonic followed by a little red wine, and he'll be nursing any lingering ailments with a healthy diet of Advil, coffee, and lots of water. Once he remembers to go grab lunch, he'll probably be wearing sweatpants and a knit sweater, finishing off the look with a pair of Pikachu yellow Adidas Gazelles as he heads out of the house. Later in the day, you might find him enjoying one of LA's many pristine hiking trails, and his evening will be scaries-free because when you love what you do, and you're your own boss, you'll never work a day in your life. Any updates that you'd like to make to that, Ethan?
I sound so insufferable. I think
it's not insufferable. It sounded amazing. When I went back and listened to that, I was like, this is only somebody in their mid-20s living in Southern California could have this like perfect, relaxing sounding of a Sunday. I like my Sundays too. I don't really get scaries either anymore, but there's still like, I still got to like put together a grocery list and do some, some responsibilities type of bullshit. So that's the only thing that like, I don't get to go on a hike on Sundays.
Well, yeah,
that's okay. Neither do I.
Where are you? Which neighborhood are you in Brooklyn?
We're in Williamsburg, just kind of like on the outside of all the madness.
Like this was 6 years ago now, and I think it may have kind of gotten a little bit popular. But there's a spot called Cafe Mogador, which at least in 2019 was doing amazing like Mediterranean, Middle Eastern style breakfast. Listening to you talk about the labna and the poached eggs made me think of that spot. But yeah, any kind of updates to your file here?
I think there might be some errands added onto that Sunday. Apparently,
well, you do have a fiance now. You do have a fiance, yes. So you're approaching those responsibilities that Will and I are well versed in. Yes,
I think the outfit's changed a bit. I definitely am not wearing those yellow gazelles, although they are still in a box in storage. Refuse to give away. I think it's pretty similar, but I honestly think the thing that's changed is the night before. Maybe it's not the gin and tonic anymore. Maybe it's fall, and we're going to get a Boulevardier, which is my drink of choice anytime we go out. And I don't know. I think New York, you're just outside all the time, so there's just going to be some sort of walking somewhere to do something. If I'm not hungover, maybe I'll go for a run. It's pretty similar, but New Yorkified.
Definitely. Well, I'm hoping for some good, maybe like, I don't know, a fit pick or two, and with the changing leaves, Ethan, we got to see how you're layering up and putting on the gear, putting that shit on.
Yeah, we have a couple trips upstate at the end of September lined up, so I'm hoping for some nice leaf changing aesthetic.
Well, leaf peeping?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I do have some bad news to finish this podcast out with, but I also have some good news too. The bad news is that you're officially sold out of the heavyweight chore coat in navy size medium.
You tried to do an OPC.
The good news is it's because I didn't OPC.
Okay.
I was going to get it last season, and I didn't because it was so close to summer that I was like, it's just going to annoy me that I have this in my closet the entire time and I'm not able to wear it. And I am so horned up for fall weather at this point that I'm just buying things that I want going into fall. And it was about time. And so when I saw there was one left, it just had to happen.
Yeah, we've got a good amount of the natural. The navy, we didn't make as many, so that's why we're low on stock there. But friend of the brand, Joe Greer, photographer, big guy on Instagram, you may have heard of. I gave him one of the jackets last winter, and he has worn it constantly. So it's a good cosign for you.
It seems like the perfect item for an Austin, Texas winter, and I wear so many light colored bottoms that I figured I'd go darker on top. I'm excited.
And any more women's coming this fall, Ethan, as well?
We don't have women's has been difficult, mostly just because I'm not a woman, and it is hard to find something that you don't wear. We do have our denim and our cashmere cardigans that are women's cuts that we love. But what we realized is that the majority of we have like a 30% women's audience, and the majority of what those people are buying are just the men's clothes and wearing it better than we ever could.
Yeah.
And so we've extended some sizes, and we are really just doubling down on our styling and our photography to just drive that point home that you can wear it. I mean, my fiance, probably half her closet is stuff that we've made at this point, and she wears it better than I do. So I think a big part of that is just showing them how, and showing people that, it's just a men's pair of pants, but they actually look better on you. So why not?
It's a good move. I can speak from experience. It's the number one request that we get at Haller Brothers is to make a women's line. And it's just like, it's we're out of our depth trying to it's a whole nother business basically to create. You need people that understand that cut and that silhouette and that development. And it's a huge can of worms. It's a big undertaking. So it's the cardigan and the jeans look great though. So it's nice that you have a couple of those pieces that do that are in that women's cut. And yeah, it's cool to be able to style up women in the menswear as well.
Well, Sally wears a lot of her every other Thursday crew neck sweater, and she loved it. She also wears the button down that you spoke of earlier often.
My favorite.
Yep.
Did she get an extra small or small?
Prepper,
I don't know.
I think a small. I could check for you. I think the speaking of the prep revival, we're very bullish on the dress shirts as a whole. And next year we have a lot, not for this fall, we have the denim one this fall, but next year we have a lot of variations of our dress shirt, which our fit and cut is my favorite shirt ever. We're doing a lot of different fabrics, different things. So that prep is coming back. It's here to stay.
Yes. The dress shirt looks great. There's a guy that wears some of your stuff on Instagram who I don't know what his name is. His handle is like Zech Lee. Zech.
Oh,
Lee.
Zach.
I assume maybe his name was Zach, but that's not what his handle says. It's like Zech, I think. Maybe I'm way off.
It's spelled Zech, but it's pronounced Zach.
He looks great in your clothes. He was wearing the pale blue shirt a week or two ago, maybe. And he kind of sold me on it, but it's out of stock in a small right now.
Sorry, bud.
But
it's okay. It'll be back in October.
Okay. Good follow. He looks good in the clothes.
Yeah, he is also the nicest guy in my circle of friends in LA. And I started by sending him some stuff because he has some followers, and I was like, "Here, try this." And since he has just kept purchasing over and over, and I don't even realize he does anymore. He's always got whatever's new. He'll wear it. I'm like, "When did you get that?" He's like, "Oh, I just got it last week when it dropped." Yeah.
Well, Will, you got anything else for Ethan? I could keep going, but I feel like we all have some other things we got to get to this afternoon.
No, I appreciate you coming back on, Ethan. I know Barrett was chomping at the bit to get you on, and when you reached out to me recently saying you'd love to come on, I was like, let's do this. So it seemed like perfect timing.
It was fun, just in time for fall. Speaking of, where is the fall fashion episode?
I know. We gotta figure this out.
That usually September.
It's gonna have to be early September. I'm gone the first week of September. So we got to select a date. That might be our first order of business when this ends.
Okay. Yep. All right. Coming very soon. Yep.
Soon.
Yep. I've got some trends jotted down. I've some stuff I'm on the lookout for. So it's percolating.
Okay. All right, Love Ethan. It. We had a blast. This was fun.
Thanks, guys.
Talk soon.
It was good to chat.
Yeah, it was. Bye.